Lale sita, city, dilly, 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 yellow, yellow, young man, till Yembete ingubo ezimhlophe yayofate nengubo ezibomvu yayizitho isithi ilizwe livile uphethe ngomlomo ndiphethe amasomntono uwazabe ngekavuthwa nje yamandi 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 lonjolo madoda yamandi 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 lonjolo madoda yo you can clap those hands yamandi yamandi lonjolo madoda yo yamandi yamandi lonjolo madoda yo hey yamandi 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 oh yamandi lonjolo kwelo cho imandi Lord, Chana, Imandi, Lord, Chana, Imandi. now.
Okay, so today we've prepared a couple of African dishes for you guys to enjoy, but some of them do take long. So for example, I've got an oxtail stew here, but because oxtail tastes so good if you slow cook it over a couple of hours, so we've done the majority of the process, and then we'll just finish it off together, and then Tando will make a chakalaka. So chakalaka is a traditional South African relish. All these ingredients are for the chakalaka, so it's quite a wholesome dish. It's got onions, it's got peppers, red, yellow. We put green beans, we put baby marrows, we put parsley, and it's got some herbs here. It's got rosemary. I don't see your thyme, Dando.
It's inside it's in there.
It also has
this one.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So and then you mix all of them together, and then when it's cooked, then we add our baked beans. You may see a tin written chakalaka in the shops. It's nothing close to what we are making. So I hope you'll be able to make this when you get home.
Yeah.
Give us the recipe?
Absolutely.
Now we can be our client. We pick the choose up.
Okay.
No, that's for that one. There you go. It keeps
Just press and hold.
Pro version here.
Yeah, because that's hard.
Yeah.
It's
And at the top, I just
time and the living is easy. One of these mornings you're gonna rise. I'm singing as you spread your wings and shape to the sky. Up until that morning, your dad is rich and your mom is good looking. Oh hush, little baby, don't you cry. So the invoice that I'm going to send to this house.
Oh, you ladies are divine.
Oh my gosh, look at all this.
Wow, there's fish. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Ah! Oh my God, I love this. I don't think so. I'm gonna cry. gentlemen, welcome, and we really appreciate your visit. My name is Antoinette Sithole, and there's a picture at your back, if you can see it, a black and white picture. Or do you think we should go down there? It's a little bit quieter because today our leaders are here. So. Okay. Yeah, let's go this way. People feel like, oh, this is too emotional. But at the end of the day, you have to reconcile with what you have seen inside. It's not going to be easy, but you have to. By the way, we are here because of the day of the 16th of June, where actually students went through the street of Soweto protesting against to be taught in the medium of Afrikaans, subject like mathematics, biology, physical science. You know, there and then there was disruption. Why should we learn in our precious language? Where in this planet are we really going to speak Afrikaans besides in South Africa and Namibia? Well, some thought we can just write a memorandum and hand it over to the Department of Education. But some said, hey, wait. By the way, we need to keep this as a secret. If not, we should be discreet. So what now? Well, the last option was to approach high school students, of which there were those subtle political organizations like Black Consciousness, South African Student Movement, South African Students Organizations. Even though we went days later, you know, because we're doubtful and pulling one another. And we're told that, oh, well, we know about the situation. We are still trying to find an amicable way to resolve the matter. You know, with us, we wanted things to happen speedily before we could reach the month of June. Well, we had to wait. Even when I got to my school, it was time for assemblies of which we hold every day. As usual, we sang, and while we were praying, there was this disturbing sound like a big aeroplane just on top of our heads. Obviously, it was disturbing. And I realized that even when your eyes are closed, you can still investigate. Can you? Can you? Yes. By listening, hearing, and sound. So at the assemblies, there was this sequence where they would say, short ones in the front and tall ones at the back. And usually teachers concentrate at the back rather than in the front. So I was always in the front. And I loved it to bits. You know, in a way, I felt special. So I just told myself, well, why not take advantage of being short and investigate? So I just went like, and actually the sound came from one of the nominated school students from Morris Isaacson High School. They were singing and chanting, proceeding through our school gate. You know, we just pretended as if we don't really know what's going on, because my principal was very cheeky and we were so afraid of him, even neighboring schools. So he just left us there at the assemblies and approached those students. I heard him say, my children are not going anywhere. But one student said, Father, you had your chance. This is our chance. Hearing that, it was like, oh, what a relief. So we just took our school bags and put them right on the veranda. Some just threw them there. And those who had placards, they just pulled out the placards and we followed the procession. Yes, we went from location to location collecting students, but we'd find that in some locations there would be about 3 to 4 schools in a row That means a lower primary, a primary, a high school, or a secondary. So I think younger ones could hear the sound and they just came out to see what's going on. And they spotted those different uniforms and they knew that the elderly brothers and sisters attending in those schools. So I think they told themselves like, they are enjoying themselves and they never invited us. We are going to invite ourselves. But in actual fact, younger ones were not supposed to be part and parcel of the demonstration. Well, it was a peaceful march, so we just let them join in. As we went through the street of Soweto with pride, at some point, our leaders summoned us and told us that other schools are on the way. We can just hang around waiting for those schools. You know, I became restless. I knew he was not supposed to be there. He was too young to understand what was really going on. But still, I could not just ignore his presence. So I decided that I will call him, but I will use his cultural name, which was Zolile. Zolile means calmness. So I called out his name. He quickly looked around. You could see that he heard that somebody called out his name. And when he looked from where I was, I just waved and came closer, smiling. You know, I just said to him, it seems as if things are getting out of hand. I'll make sure we get home. We'll be okay. Well, I was just saying that, you know, trying to be brave and bold. I was very scared. So while I continued talking to him, there was another shot, so we had to go back into hiding. Unfortunately, we went two separate ways. When it's calm, as I emerged back to the pavement, he was nowhere to be seen. Yes, I looked around, my eyes roving, thinking I might spot him again. But not very far from where I was, like something happened there, and students were busy gathering the scene. So I sort of had two minds, whether I should go and investigate or stay. Eventually, I chose to stay, you know, because I thought he might come around looking for me and we are going to miss one another. But I was very anxious to know what was happening there. I had to stay. Yes, my eyes were roving and at the same time trying to think that if he comes around, we can take any street. If not, we should wait for other students to be in a group of 5 or 6. Then we can hit the road. I don't know. Maybe because my mind was wandering and I was also confused, I just saw a man coming from nowhere, running towards me. As that man passed me, my eyes followed him, and actually he was focusing at that crowd where students were gathered. When he got there, you could see that he was making way, pushing these other students. And it also seemed like he was struggling or trying to get something from these other student hands. As he lifted, yes, I could see it's a body frame. As he lifted for the second time, the first thing that I spotted, it was my brother's shoes. So I tried running to the scene. Already they were on their way, running towards me. I joined them, and as we continue running, I was asking this man, who are you? This is my brother, I've been looking for him. Where are you taking him? The man just kept on running. Then I looked at my brother. I saw blood coming from the side of the mouth. You know, I panicked. Who are you? Can't you see my brother's hurt? Where are you taking him? He never said anything. A car just stopped in front of us, and one lady jumped out of the car, introduces herself as a journalist, and said she can help us. As that man was about to put my brother in the car, he said, "Oh, he's dead." Here and that, I was sort of like torn into two, and I could see myself on the other end crying desperation. To me, it was like, this is not real, it can't be happening. The next moment, I was at the clinic, and the clinic looked very strange, like it has been long deserted. But I knew there were people there. So I had to bang, knock, windows crying out for help. And one white doctor came out. He took my brother out of the car inside the clinic, and he said to me there was nothing more that he could do. I understood him very well. Yes, I stood there, trying to find myself. Then I decided, let me just go next to the window inside the clinic. And as I looked through the window, outside there, it was another chapter. In fact, students were retaliating. Like everywhere else in the morning, we have delivery vans for bread, milk. Even some of our white colleagues used to work here in Soweto as teachers, administrators, you name them. And they were caught in the act. In amusement, while I was watching the stoning of the delivery vans, already some students have looted those vans, their loaves of bread in their hands. From the other side of the window, a van came rolling down like it was stoned 3 blocks away from here. And on the side of the door, there was an abbreviation of Western Board Administration. That means that car belonged to the government. And at that moment, anything that belongs to the government was destroyed in any form. Yes, that car lost control and swerved to where most of the students went. When that man was pulled out of the car, he was a white man. Each and everything that could kill a human being was used on him. You name them. Knives, spades, stones, anything. I just froze. Then I thought, now my mind is really playing with me. It was unbelievable. Days later, we heard that the very same man who was killed, it was Dr. Van Halstein, who was assigned here in Soweto as a social worker, and so many people knew him. That was sad. But all those who died did not die in vain. As people, we managed to take out good from bad, to live by today, to shape ourselves and our country. Thank you very much. If you have questions. So, cleansing the blood that was shed on the 16th of June. And inside the water feature, we've got stones. Those stones were used by students as they were retaliating. So by immersing the stones inside the water, we are saying this must never ever happen again. These gray walls, we call them wall of void. Each slate represents individuals who took part on the day of the 16th of June. And in between the slates, we've got a vacant space. That's the void that we are talking about. That means we still need more information to fill up our history. And where we are here, this space, we call it a place of wonder. Now that I told you what happened on the 16th of June, you can just walk around, contemplate, put yourselves in the shoes of those who took part. And you also have this straight line from that corner that goes right. We call it a firing line. Actually, it connects the street across where my brother and others were shot. And my brother was shot on the street, but the photo was taken the next street because the clinic is just the street away. So everything happened around here in this vicinity. There was no transportation, nothing. They used to hang. And they never had suitcases, okay? So they just get a big cloth, put food, blankets, clothes in one. And they would hang. So I think the influx came. And he said, black man, you are on your own. And it's what is happening today. Okay? This is my brother's grave. Even though now we've got a tombstone, so usually when we want to go there and forget the number, we come up here and look at the number 462. But now we've got a tombstone. And on my extreme right, that church is called Regina Mundi. This is the only church that allowed students to hold meetings. And as time went by, police knew about that. So they had to go and shoot students at the church. So the church now is declared a heritage site, and they also do some talks at the church. So we don't often go there because of time constraint and because they have to take you around and show you. Even though part of it was fixed, but they still left some exhibition for people to come and see. And then on my left, because these women, society women, is very normal here in Soweto. It's generational. One is still alive and well, except my Zeruko. I sometimes work with him, and still alive and well. This section, we call it a courtyard. Okay? All these bricks, they've got names of the people who died from the day of the 16th of June until December 1976. And most of them, they've got names and the date of death. But some of them, they only have a date of death and there's no name. It's just written unknown. That means that person was killed in another location where he was not known. And because it's a police case, police had to come and collect all those people that they've killed. So most of people did find those who did know. Oh, yes, people advertising. Maybe somewhere in a long short road to freedom. It's just a nickname. You can think a long short road to freedom. It's a funny name, but it's a nickname. It's a nickname. Why? Because it was derived from Mandela's book, Long Walk to Freedom. So this street played a major role during the uprisings in 1976. So the shoes on the wall, those are a depiction of students running around, and some of them obviously. So if today a youngster asks you, why do we have shoes on the wall? You can explain that this street played a major role. That's why Hector Pieterson was shot and others. Okay, so we are going to go up to the road at the stop sign, just like 2 streets and then.
Hello.
Because this is where blood was shed on the very same street. That's the toilet. Okay? It looks like a house, that's a toilet, and that's. Look at that one, it's like roses. So people don't like them because they ruin their flowers.
Yeah. They're hungry. Oh gosh.
So as I came out from my hideout, there was nowhere to see. You know, my mind was all over. I couldn't know what to do, whether to move, look around. I did everything I could. I couldn't see. The man who carried my brother, I saw him, passing me, going through that way, and you could see that he was actually going at that crowd where my brother was shot. And when he got there, he was busy, making way. And as he turned, remember I said the first thing that I saw it was my brother's shoes. So I tried running there. Already they were on the way. So we met at this corner. And as you can see, the corner is a fork. So we had to keep to our right because the clinic is just 5 houses away from the corner. And the photo was taken from that other grey house with arched windows. That's where the photo was taken. And the clinic is just like 5 blocks away. They take their children to the city to attend school. So some of them, if not, find their own.
On the way to the Nelson Mandela Museum in Soweto, we saw this guy who was sewing stuff. And we just spent a whole, half hour with him. He took our measurements and we're going to order stuff from him because he's super talented, incredible talent. And I'll tag him. Just amazing. I'm having such a great time here in Johannesburg, beyond my expectations. And I love the people here.
No, I can't do my own work there, so that me just go there my lunchtime. Yes. You can take them direct. A business wise, they'll give you theirs. Right? Yes, instead of it's like that. Yes, they'll give you theirs to say. You find out to say when also you place your order there, then I'll be the one to do the order.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Through
so,
through the what is it called?
Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Even my WhatsApp number was
15 numbers of.
Yeah, something like that.
Right design.
Yeah. Yes, most definitely. It's a matter of where even with a pic of your design.
Here we go.
Memorial stones, one for women, so then that's another. So the structure of the house is still the same. The only improvements that I did was the roof, the paving, the toilet and the office area, the fence around the prison and prison bars. So while Nelson was in prison, he was only allowed to write 2 letters every once a year, limited to 500 words and strictly in English, and he was only allowed 1 visitor every year and only for 30 minutes. So then right there over the wall are the 2 extracts taken from the letters that they wrote, one to Winnie and the other was responding to the 1976 Soweto Uprising.